It was subtle, but nevertheless there. We were newcomers. We were poor. We had kind of a recent arrivals, and people were still going back and forth. So we really never fitted in, and there was always one or two in each school, that kind of more settled out and that had kind of become real Americanized and were kind of more accepted. But it was, we were just treated differently. I remember I used to ride a bus, because we lived in rural areas, to school, and every spring, by that time we were pretty much had started to settle there. Every spring, a whole bunch of kids farm worker kids would show up, and I remember once a bus got full of farm worker kids, and some kids said, "God, look at all these Mexicans! They filled up the bus," and so there was always this kind of us and them, and as I mentioned, there was segregation in the schools. That all the farm worker kids would be siphoned off to to the vocational ed classes, and it's continuing today. It's the teachers were all white, the principals were all white. There was no mention. There was a cultural genocide. There was never any mention of Mexicans in any of the history books or any contribution. We were like invisible, right? I remember, being told not to speak Spanish. If I wanted to speak Spanish, to go back to Mexico. This happened when I was in California. I remember being called a wetback also when I was in California. So it was pretty subtle, but never, and there was never any intermingling, of Mexicans and the dominant society.